let's get into it. So, last week, the fight finally happened. And after a big build-up of interview after interview after interview of Eubank Snr, which I'm going to speak very openly, as you know I do, people. And, the fight went down. It was a good spectacle from Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. And I believe that the fight captured the public's imagination. Mm-hmm. I believe that the legacy of the fathers led them to this point, which is a great thing. Your father, if you can't follow your father's legacy, then whose legacy can you follow? So I feel like it lived up to the hype. But as a boxing fan, people, I got to keep this thing 1,000. That is a spectacle. I think it's amazing that both sons have been able to follow in their dad's footsteps to get to this level. That's amazing, man. But it's a spectacle and it's a novelty. You know what I mean? But it done what it was supposed to do. So I'm not going to come on here and fight against the occasion, because it was a great occasion. Plus, it was a great flag. They've flown the flag for British boxing. That fight was shown globally. So there's nothing negative you can take away from it. However, I do understand what the Simon Jordans of the world are saying, that these are not, Conor going up to 160. He could have stayed at 147 and tried to do his thing there. But the reason he hasn't gone up to 160, stayed at 147, folks, is because they can probably try and manufacture him to a belt, but the reality is he don't become a champ at 147. You get what I mean? So that's why he's gone up to get that payday, because they know if they put him in with the wrong man at 147, it can mash up the investment. So that's why that fight was pushed through as fast as it was pushed through. Eubank Jr. now, he is a great businessman in terms of he knows how to strategically remain relevant in boxing. He knows call out. He's been doing it from back in the day when he was calling out Golovkin, but he had no plans to fight Golovkin. You see what I mean? He was just riding man's name. Hype. And he's kind of doing that now with Canelo, but that Canelo thing's almost like a cash out fight, because right now he's put himself in a great position. And yeah, man, brothers, come true.
Just on that point, sibling.
Yeah,
are we talking strictly from a marketing standpoint that he's put himself in a cool position, or are you talking about from a pugilistic standpoint?
Both, because what he's done is Canelo's looking for dance partners right now. Canelo is the face of boxing, and when Canelo fights, he likes to have a person who brings a crowd. Yeah. And Chris Eubank Jr. is in that position right now off the back of that fight. To be honest, if I was Canelo, that's my next fight. Pay the man the money. They can sell out Wembley with that fight. You know what I mean? They can sell out Wembley. Eubank Jr. is in the best position he's ever been in right now. He'll be a fool to take another fight right now outside of Canelo. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even fight Conor Benn again. You see what I mean? I'd just go straight. I'd just say, yo, Canelo, why go on? I need you. And then get the big payday, probably a 10, 15, and call it a day, mate. You're nice. Beautiful. Right. Beautiful. We'll soon get into senior people. Don't worry, man. I'm going to break that down.
Yeah, man. We got time.
We got bank holiday, man. You know what it is, people.
Plenty time. So okay, on those 2 points, and I get it. Okay, so this is just purely about financial recompense. This isn't about boxing per se now.
It's not about boxing, no. But let's be honest, Eubank Jr. has had opportunity after opportunity. I don't like the way people write him off, but this is just about money now for him, and I can't blame him.
Is he still IBO? Has he still got the IBO?
No. He ain't got no belts. None. He might have some Mickey Mouse. Nah, he ain't even got that IBO belt now, because he had that at 168? He won that at. Could have been 160. No, it was 160. He won it at once, but that's not no real belt. No disrespect, but that ain't no belt.
Why? Then explain that to me. Is it because it's not like why is it recognized? Actually, come on, you're the man.
It's not recognized though. I mean, mans have it. Usually, man just have it, and it. So like when I started seeing the IBO was when Klitschko was holding all the belts, and then he just had this other belt. A man like, yo, what's that? So it just became that other belt kind of thing. But Eubank
to look nice.
Exactly. If what Eubank was it 168, Harry? You see, if Eubank Jr. for Triple G when he was supposed to, there was one or two things that would have happened. If he beat Triple G, it would have been a superstar. But if he lost to Triple G, it would have been a long way back, because them times there, Triple G used to change, brothers. Once you got in the ring with him, you was never the same after that. My man, Triple G. You don't remember the early days of my man? He was a killer. So when they were calling him out, that's when he was stopping everything.
Remember, Mark. Come on. Remember, I'm a casual at this. All right, I know. But he had stopping power as well. I thought.
Golovkin.
Yeah,
man. Oh, yo, my man used to grind brothers down, and he had this punch. He used to do this like punch that mans couldn't see it coming, and it used to land on the top of man's head. Literally, it was like he'd come up close. He was a very like a phone booth fighter.
Okay,
but he was raw. Like watch the first and second fight with Canelo. Triple G, like my man's nuts. Like he beat Canelo still the first time.
I know.
He beat him.
That. Yes.
But is at the time he was just running through brothers. No one wanted to fight him, and Eubank and his dad started calling him out. Yo, we want Golovkin, and you know how them brothers go on. And Golovkin's like, yeah, I want it. You know, he didn't really talk. He'd just be like, yes, I want everybody. You know how he used to go on. And then they didn't fight him. So what happened was they gave Brooke $5 million to fight him instead. So to save the show, Herm paid Kell Brook $5 million. So Brooks took the fight, but remember, Brooks 147. So Brooks gone up to 160 and fought Triple G. Yeah, this is what happened. Yeah, so he went up to 160, fought Triple G, and then Triple G like just grinded Brook down, innit? Like how he always fights. Like he starts slow, and then when he starts getting into it, he started grinding him down, and Dominic Ingle knew what time it was, so he threw in the towel. Then what happened was, Brooke then went back down to 147 and fought Spence. These times Spence was a killer, fresh, never had no belt. Everyone's talking about the sparring stories, how he stopped Mayweather and this, that. So Spence, they threw Brooke back in with Spence. Spence broke his other eye socket. So that's why I say Brooke was mismanaged. He made money, but he should have really been staying at 147 before fighting Triple G and just cleaning out the division. But instead, they wanted the quick money, and that was Eubank Jr.'s fault. So carry on, Noble, carry on.
Pardon yourself. If he's 147 and he's then going up to 160, is the 160s kind of walk around weight then, in essence?
Yeah, Brooke was a stocky guy. He used to use a lot of weight, but his fighting weight was 147 to 154.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? 154, I'd probably say he's 154, but Eubank Jr. and his pops did that. You see what I'm saying? They did that, and what Hearn should have really did is said, nah, them man pulled out, the show's cancelled, but instead you put Brooke in there, and that was Eubank Jr.'s fault. So let's get into it. So the dad pops out of the car, and the whole place has gone crazy. Nuts. Everyone's gone crazy. Man are messaging me saying, you see, this is why man shouldn't commentate on family business. So I'm like,
get the fuck out of here, man.
Don't worry, people. Please. It's me, man. It's me,
get
man.
The
you
fuck
know
out
it's
of
me,
here,
man. I'm going to break it down. So I said, first of all, there's no hate here. I'm a man who's got a great relationship with my dad. Beautiful. That's why I'm able to speak about the dynamic between... soon come, Harry, soon come. I'm going to bring you back to. That's why we speak about the dynamic here between father and son.
Yes.
Because I know that Because truth be told, people, that's all I've ever known. You know what I mean? Like, I've always been close to my dad from a child right up into an adult. So I believe that when all them videos were coming out, no one was breaking down the reality of the situation. So seeing you popped out, everyone goes mad. Then he does an interview after and says, I was always going to be by my son's side. Some even say that it was a trick. He pulled the wool over people's eyes. So, which I don't understand, because people, tell me something.
That's weird marketing, that is.
Very weird. In what universe, people, does you publicly speaking down against your son for whatever reason, how is that pulling the wool over anyone's eyes? If anything, you're making your family look bad. Even because that you couldn't put an amount to me to pretend that me and my dad's in war. You couldn't even put an amount on it. But you couldn't, because them things, when you act out things like that, like it can become true. Whatever you ask this universe for, it will give you. So I don't believe that, people. What had happened was this. Let's really talk here. The dad made numerous videos where he said, I'll never be by your side. Spoke down about the youth numerous times, put that energy out there. It was about money, folks. Because the night of the fight, he turns up.
And who? How? Come on, Mark.
Eddie Hearn said that they wanted him there, and he was given a call. A number was put to him. Then he turned up to the fight. Now, if you look, for him, it's all about put the spotlight on me. That's what it's all about. Put the spotlight on me. Now, you see this kind of brother, yeah? People think it's funny, and a lot of men have been sending me the videos, but I like him, you know. Don't get what I'm saying twisted. I like the brother because we need characters. We need characters out here. Everyone can't be serious and we need jesters out here. However, yeah, people, when he does this little pat where Rastafari and people, I see that as a mockery, because listen to the things that he's saying. He only says things that are stereotypical. Think about it, people. I know he's Jamaican. No one can't take that from him. However, he only says stereotypical things. Ask yourself why. In what relation is he related to anything to do with Rasta? You don't live a Rastafarian lifestyle. You don't promote anything to do with Rasta. Your woman and the choice of baby mother and everything. Nothing to do with Rasta. Last thing. Sorry. I'm very qualified to speak about that because that's what I grew up in. Saying that is just like something to say. Man, a lot. Think about all them remix videos and that. Come true, Noble, come true.
Carry on, man. Carry on. No, carry on.
All right. So,
please.
What I'm saying to you is, yeah, he's a character, yes. He's funny, yes. But the brother's as fake as a £15 note. I gotta keep it real. He's as fake as a £15 note. Because you did all of that. You did all of that whole pantomime and all of that rub. You did that. No one told you to do that. You didn't need to do that. Because as a father and as a son, in a situation like that, I'm pulling my people to a side. Yo, I'm not saying that things don't happen in families, but you did all of that whole press run. Then you popped out because you were paid. That's what it was. No one don't want to say it online. You popped out because you were paid, and that was it. And you nothing's wrong with that. But that's why this is what I said to people before. It's nothing to do with all these reasons. He said, remember, he said that it shouldn't happen, it won't be happening, etc., etc. So if that's the case, why did you go? You went because it was always about bread. It was always about that. You know, the gimmicky use of our people's tongue is offensive to me. And I know a lot of people say, oh, he's just having a fun. It's offensive to me because you don't push anything towards, you don't push any positivity towards that culture anywhere else. You just shout it out. because it's cool to do so. Rest. I was telling man, lick him, lick it. I'm like, yo, I get it. It's funny. It's funny, man. It is funny. But I'm just showing you the reality of it is the bread is fake. You know what I mean? He turned up because he got paid. And
Mark is conflicted.
That's it. You got paid and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with you going. You should have always been by your youth side. And the facts are that I hope them man build back their relationship personally as well. Don't just do it because you got paid. Like, the money and all of that means nothing. When it's all said and done, a man needs his dad, especially in the shark-infested waters that Eubank Jr.'s in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Think about it, people. That boxing game is dog eat dog. This is why I gave the example about Junior Witter last week. It's dog eat dog. So when your pops was an all-time great, British-wise, and I know a lot of men don't like hearing that, but these all-time greats in Britain always docked, man, overseas. Keeping it real. There's certain brothers in the UK that you gotta give them their dues, man. But there's certain other man who docked, brothers.
Yeah.
I just gotta keep it real. Frutch, as much as the brothers got questionable behavior at times, Frutch never docked nobody, people. He didn't, man. He didn't dock anyone, man. He didn't. You gotta give a brother his dues. He didn't dock anyone. Even after he got schooled by Ward, he never docked nobody. Whereas Eubank and Ben, they actually openly docked brothers. Openly, like literally docked man, like, I'm not fighting him. I'm not fighting. So when I remember that, as a youth, I remember that. I remember the interview when they brought James Toney in on the monitor. And them two was sitting down, man had the curly perm and everything.
Yes.
And James Toney, these times he's some American bad boy, whatever. Before the Tony we see today, I'm talking about the OG Tony that was in shape. My man goes, yo, I'll beat both these, man. Something like that. And that made them shake hands. That, what he said, you could see it. It made them shake hands. They actually shook hands after that. Like to say, yo, we're not, my man's, these kind of men are bad for boxing and all that. Because I think he made some mom joke or something. He was trying to hype up the fight. Yeah. And they were like, nah. You know, shook hands. So I'm just saying, man's docked, innit? They're docked. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, hold on.
Eubank Sr. is hella conflicted, Mark. He's hella conflicted. And I understand exactly what you're saying, and I agree in regards to the verbiage used. But we do know there is a section of people who claim RAS and live portions of the lifestyle, and they have a woman that looks just like
facts.
Eubank.
Facts, absolute facts. I'm only speaking about the real.
Yes,
but I'm saying, you notice how it's all gimmicky stuff. What my man says is Jamaican. No one can't take your heritage from you, just like diasporans. You can't take a man's heritage. All right, listen to this. Yeah, where is it?
Yeah,
was intelligent. So
listen.
James Toney, if he came into my purview, let's say, if he was ever number one contender for my title, I would then have to fight him. Because he was champion in his own right, he was never a contender. I'm not trying to unify against him, because I don't see how I beat him. I didn't have the type of mind, I am silverback, but I'm silverback because I'm intelligent, okay? So I'm glad that Nigel Benn was my, adversary. He was the one. I'm glad it wasn't James Toney. I'm glad it wasn't Roy Jones. I'm glad it wasn't Mike McCallum. I'm glad it wasn't Marvin Hagler. I'm glad that was a different time. Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran. I'm glad I wasn't in that time. For the grace of my father, go I, where I didn't have to fight these guys. I wouldn't have dodged them. They were world champions in their own rights. So to unify is a call out. Okay, well, I want to unify.
Yeah, man, we don't even need to hear no more. That's just to prove the point. Brothers docked in it. So
he did himself in that little something he just said then. That's a mad contradiction.
What was the sorry? What was the contradiction? Point it out. Sorry.
What are you saying that I would never fight those geezers? I'd never fight those geezers. And then towards the end, I didn't duck them though. I didn't duck them.
No, because he was saying he wouldn't fight them by choice. Like he was saying they'd have to get into a mandatory position. He said he didn't remember. They just stayed with the WBO route, innit? Him and Ben. But nah, it's big what they did. It's big what they did
for Britain.
Yeah, man. You definitely you put things in motion that your sons could do that. So that I'm saying there's a lot of respect for that. But I'm just saying my man is fake and no one wants to say it. He promoted this anti-junior rhetoric and then you just popped out. You weren't pulling no wool, you know, you got paid.